Hi, everybody. All right, so we're working on mold version 2. So in the last video, you saw me working on the first version of the armrest mold. That thing was way too big. So now we have cut it down to a nice normal size. You can see I've got the plywood there. And we're going to do the same thing that we had before. We're going to have the plywood surrounded by three layers of that 1-inch thick Corning insulation board. That makes the perfect size for this. So once it's all glued up, we're going to use this tool that you can see in the bottom left-hand corner. That is called a hot wire. That's just 12 volts passed across a wire to make it hot, and it just melts that insulation away. It's great for making like nice general shapes. Now, while it is a cool tool to use, let me just say, you cannot use it to make a perfectly formed item, right? That's just not going to happen. You can only get it really rough. You can't make it smooth. And we'll be sanding that off in just a little bit. One tip, though, if you're doing this, you need to have the plywood for two reasons. One, it helps with rigidity, and two, it has something for you to rest the hot wire on. What I like to do is actually sort of make a dihedral angle outward from the plywood, because, you know, once you start sanding, if you sand off, you can only sand off so much, right? You can take away, but you can't add on. So before I start sanding, I always make sure I've got more material, and you'll see that in a second. And once we're sanded, so we kind of went to this in the first video, but let me just go over the full aspect of what's going to happen. So you can see me making the plug here. I'm about to sand that thing off, and then we're going to check for size, and that's good. We're going to, and here you can just see I've got an orbital sander with some 220 grit. Works perfect. So we're going to make sure that thing fits, and then we're going to sand in some radiuses around the curves because composite material does not like 90-degree angles. Then we're going to fiberglass that over. We're going to sand that down. We're going to add some fairing material on the outside of that to make it perfectly smooth. Sand that, and then we add some epoxy primer to the outside, and then sand that. Actually, we're going to do a couple layers of that. And then we'll have the final plug. All right, and with that plug, we can start to make the molds. And so after the molds are made, then we can start making product. But that's a whole, you're talking videos and videos full of stuff. But look how nice that is. I mean, that is nice. And that whole process took me about 2 hours just to make that what you see right there. It's sweet. All right, so while we're testing it out in the plane, let me go over some rants to the armchair maintenance officers in our club, who not only condescend to me as though they're the ones doing my job and think they know how to do my job, but are making my life hell. They can go themselves. This is amazing. I mean, you people understand airspace navigation, you understand radio usage, rudimentary airplane operations, but they don't have any idea about logistics or what it takes to, you know, maintain a fleet of aircraft and keep them up so that these little snowflakes can go fly. It blows my mind. Some of these people are, I've got VPs of tech companies, right? And I wouldn't trust these people to take out my garbage. They're so stupid they could throw a rock at the ground and miss. I swear to God. The worst part, this is what I got yesterday. This is a squawk I actually got yesterday. Engine idle with carb heat on is rough and low RPM. And then in parentheses shows 600 RPM. I recommend having the carb heat knob repaired. Seriously, it blows my mind that these people haven't killed themselves. That I'm not getting like one crash a week. And look, I'm all about getting feedback and getting help. If someone knows a better way to do my job, tell me. Right? I'm all about getting some help. I mean, my God, someone tell me right now to stop wearing that suit. I look like a blue sausage casing. Seriously. It's awful. But no, you know, I think I've gotten this down pretty good. Of course, I say that. I've gotten it down pretty good with the size of the fleet we have, and that's pretty much it. So, yeah, these people need to fly the planes, clean them when they're done, and shut the f*** up. That's my recommendation. All right, so it fits pretty good, and we're very happy with it. So now it's time to sand corners in. Like I said, composite material does not like right angles. You try to lay fiberglass cloth down on a right angle, and it's gonna bubble up. You're gonna have tons of air, and it's gonna look crappy. So that's what you really needed. All right, phase 1 is done. So in the next video, we're going to start throwing down some fiberglass and some other composite stuff, which is really cool. So thank you for joining me, everyone. Happy Pearl Harbor Day, and see you soon.